All right, so here's my zero. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna replace the light bulb. So this bike comes with the H4 light bulb. So what I have here is a oh, what's that first? Is a HS1 bulb. So HS1 bulb, it's a lower wattage. It uses 35 watts for both the high beam and the low beam. So that's a lot, you know, that's less power. Whereas the H4 bulb, that one is the H4 bulb is 55 watts low beam and 60 watts high beam. So you're looking between let's see, what is it, 35, 45, 55. So you look at 25 to 20 to 25 watts more. So this is obviously a PIA. That's my preferred choice of halogen bulbs. So actually, let's look at here. Not sure if you guys can see this or not. Right in here, where my fingernail is, it says 35 watt / 35 watt. All right, so that's the so you have to be careful. Don't touch the glass. Okay, put this back in. Don't touch the glass, otherwise it will leave oil on there. If the oil is on there, it will cause your bulb to crack when you turn it on. So let's look in here. So here's the back of my handlebar. So I turn it all the way as much as I could. So switch back in here. So there's the plug. So I have to pull that plug. It should come straight out. There's nothing actually holding it. It's just kind of a friction. It's a pretty tight friction fit. Have to wiggle it. Ow. So normally when you have pan clearance, it's a lot easier to do this. There it goes. Okay, so there's that. All right, so once you take that off, here's it has dielectric grease in here. So here's the H4 so yeah, that's dielectric grease. So that way, if there's water gets in here, whatever, it's no big deal. So from there, there's a rubber water seal. Pull that off. That should pop right off. So it's kind of, all those other plugs are sort of in the way, but you know, here it is. So it is. So this right here, that's what seals around the base of the light bulb. And that's what seals that part, and that over here is what seals the housing. All right. So there's that. All right. So this thing, I believe it twists. Let's see. Let me look into it. So normally a H4 bulb, there's like a clip. There's like a clip that clips onto it. On most bikes, that's a clip, but this one doesn't have that clip. This one is it's different. It's a yeah, it's a twist. So the white plastic I have in here. So this white plastic, you just twist it counterclockwise to unlock it. So I'm gonna be careful to not touch this. I don't want to get the grease or oil on the bulb. So this right here, it says, let's see, I'm not sure you guys could read this or not, but right in here, right where my thumbnail is, it says 60/55. So that's the wattage. So let's look at the difference between the H4 bulb, this one, the stock H4 bulb, and the HS1. So besides the wattage difference, the main other difference between these two is trying to be careful not to touch the bulb itself, otherwise you have to clean it with alcohol. So the main difference here, if you look at these two, the main difference is the tabs. So the bottom tabs, same, right? Bottom, see that, how the bottom tabs are the same? So it's the top tab on the HS1 is a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger than the H4. So the HS1, you know, you can't just stick this in there and expect it to fit, because it probably won't. basically what you have to do, you have to kind of cut this tab up here a little bit, trim it down, and that will have it slide in. But I'm gonna try to see if it fits. So you're wondering, oh, shouldn't you not use the same wattage? This one this HS1 using the 35 watts iron low, you could use with this, because with wattage, when you use light bulb with wattage, you can always go down in wattage, but you can't go up. Okay, so that's the key right there. You can go down in wattage, but you can't go up. So you go down, it won't do anything. It won't harm your electrical system. But if you go up, it can. It'll fry your electrical system. Let's see in here. Oh shoot! Damn it! My headlamp's out of power. Headlamp just went out of power. Okay, that sucks. So let's see if I could kind of just feel into this and see if I could actually have it fit at all. So this thing does have a way of fitting. As you see, this bottom part is flat, so that's what you have to be mindful of. Whereas the and I mean, they're both, both the H1 and H4, HS1 and H4 are they're both pretty much, everything's the same except for the wattage and that tab on the top. Otherwise, everything's the same. The plug's the same. Everything, all the dimensions, everything's the same. So just this tab here and at the bottom. So let me see if I could slide this into the groove at all. If I could, I don't have to cut that tab. Yeah, looks like I have to cut that tab. Yep. Yeah, looks like I have to cut that tab. I could, because I can't really see it from here. I don't have my headlamp. Let me go grab my headlamp. See if I can see it from here. I'll be right back. All right, so yeah, so I try to fit it in, and the tab here is too wide. So so you can't use, so I can't stick this in. So what I have to do is I actually have to trim this tab down. Oh shit! That thing just touched my finger. God damn it! I thought it touched my finger right there, right on the side of here. I don't see a smudge. Oh, I need to pour alcohol on it just in case. So anyways, I need to trim this down. So I'm gonna use some tin snips. Actually, before I do that, let me see how much I have to cut off. So I'm just gonna overlay the two. And it's barely anything. It's barely, like, let me see. I'm sure you guys can see that. Okay, so it's only a little bit. It's like maybe a 1/16 of an inch on each side. So the flickering you're seeing that's actually my headlamp. My headlamp is kind of goofy. Yeah, the headlamp's kind of goofy. So the headlamp, it's not a steady state. It cycles. So that way it's more efficient. So here's my tin snips. I'm using some Buono's tin snips. So I'm gonna eyeball that 1/16 of an inch, which was right about there on this side. Okay, so that's a little bit right here. See that little end that rolled off? The tip of my finger right there. That's good. So let's see, let me snip on this end here. Okay, so I broke that off. So it's on my fingers right there. See that? Alright, so that's one side. Let's do the other side. I'm gonna flip this around this way, and the reason why I'm doing that is because on these snips, one side kind of has like little teeth marks, and the other side is not. The other side is very smooth. So I want the smooth side to be on the side that I keep, and the teeth mark to be on the side that I snip off. So that way, it's a little smoother. Okay, there's my about a 1/16 of an inch, I believe. Okay, there it goes. It rolled a little bit, all right? So I could go back in here and cut this off. Okay, so there's my end there, snipped off both sides. Should be nice and clean. Let's compare it to the original one. There you go. It's just pretty much even. Look at that. I bought it just right. Okay. Now let's stick it in there and see if it fits. If it fits, good. I'm gonna pour some alcohol on here to clean up that spot that I rubbed just slightly with the edge of my finger. Okay, oh yeah, that's perfect fit. Look at that. Goes in there perfectly. No wiggle room or anything. Actually, no, it's not perfect. It's slightly off. I think it's still slightly tight. It feels like it's still slightly tight. I still feel it's slightly tight. So maybe it's at the very bottom edge here. I think the bottom corners might be slightly not as, you know, not as not as cleanly cut off as it should be. So we'll try that again. Actually, what I should do is I should get a file and file this. I think I should get a file and file this. But also when I'm snipping this, it might it's sort of distorted. It kind of distorted this piece too. So that might cause it some irregularity right there. Oh, I'm looking down at it. I can actually see that it's not straight, or it's not perpendicular. It's actually kind of like this. Both of them. Now that I'm looking down at it, jeez, why didn't I notice that earlier? I think it's the reflection of my headlamp made it hard to see. Put the headlamp off, I can actually see it. Okay, so that one's good. So let me oops, I think I touched the bulb again. Yep, I definitely touched the bulb. It's all right. Just wipe it off with alcohol. So I'm barely taking anything off. Just a tiny little bit. The things, my snips are still in pretty decent shape. Yeah, so it's kind of distorted a little bit. So I think I need to get some pliers and kind of straighten it back out, because I see it's slightly, the two corners where I snipped it, both sides. I'm sure you guys can see that, slightly distorted. See that? Versus here. See how that's very straight. After here, it's kind of distorted a little bit, so I need to get some pliers and just kind of squeeze right here a little bit. I actually might get maybe a file too and go in here and clean it up a little bit. Okay, so I filed it down and I trimmed it, or excuse me, flatten those spots, because when you snip it, it distorts, so it's not flat anymore. So I did that. Now I'm gonna double check the fit. I never noticed this before. Down here, you see the two tabs. The tabs are actually slightly wider than the other one. That's interesting. I've done this before on the bike I had. I don't remember the tabs being, those little tabs being a problem. Okay, I see it. I see it now. So here, the tabs on here are smaller. These tabs right here on the H4 is narrower, whereas the HS1 is wider. Wow, it's quite a bit. See that? If it's lined up, so it's quite a bit. It does like it's like a 330 seconds. That's surprising. So that part of it is off. So I have to make some more adjustments, because I've done this before a long time ago on a bike I had that used a H4 bulb, but I put in an HS1 because the engine actually, the stator alternator, it wasn't able to put out enough power to power the okay, so I was feeling for the top here, and the top fits, so it's just down here that doesn't fit. So what I'm gonna do about that, I guess I'm gonna take some pliers and push that down, push these down slightly, bend it down, or flatten it out, I should say, and see. All right, so I have a needle nose, that's smooth jaw. You see no teeth, and there's no teeth there. I don't want to leave any marks, so I'm just gonna trim these down. I'm not sure like if this is big enough. Maybe I should have gotten the bigger. No, it worked. I was gonna say I should have gotten the bigger my slip joint pliers. Okay, let's see if it slips in and everything works. Okay, so it fits in, works. There's a little bit of wiggle, like a little wiggle. I'm gonna double check this one, original, see if that wiggles. I don't think it did, mainly because of those two tabs. I think the two tabs is what reduces from wiggling, but also the the three side here, that should prevent it from wiggling as well. Well, same thing, it wiggles. It's not quite as much, but almost the same amount. So I'm gonna call it good. I'm gonna call the other one good. And I'm gonna stick that one in. But before I do that, I need to clean the bulb, because I didn't touch like the fingerprint, but like the side of my finger, I think touched. So what I'm gonna use for that is some alcohol. So let me show you my alcohol. Normally I use denatured alcohol, but I just got a whole case of this stuff right here. This is isopropyl alcohol. It's 99%, so it's not for a disinfectant. If you want like disinfectant for cuts and scrapes and such, use 70%. So this one's 99%. So right here it says for technical use. So basically for like electronics. So I'm just gonna pour this right on the bulb like so. Just like that. Normally I would just, put this on a like a little rag and do this. But the reason why I'm doing this like this is because I don't think I have any clean rags right now. And I don't, because if my rag's not clean, it could cause, dirtiness to get on the bulb. All right, so I splash the bulb. So I'm just gonna kind of do this a little bit. Make sure it dries up. Still probably, still wet. Gotta give it a chance to dry, otherwise, the heat's gonna cause the alcohol to catch on fire. Don't want that. That's definitely gonna cause it to burn out. So I can still see the wetness. Actually, I see some residue. Is that residue? Oh, that is residue. You can see residue right there. I knew there was some residue. I had a feeling there was. Probably from the filing. From me filing the. Actually, I'm going to pour it in here as well. You're wondering, you're probably wondering, oh man, that's a waste of alcohol, but I'm actually kind of using it as a rinse. And like I said, I bought like a case of this stuff for. It's actually not too bad. It's like each bottle costs. I think each bottle was like how much was each bottle? It came out to the whole case was. I think there was a dozen, and the whole case was probably like 20 something, maybe $30. So each bottle was probably about $2 ish, $2.50. So now I'm looking at the glass here, make sure everything is clean, there's no residue. Normally I would wipe this, but again, I don't have anything that I think is clean enough to wipe this right now. Because you don't want to just use like a paper towel, because paper towel will leave lint, and that lint will cause a hot spot, and it could cause the bulb to crack too. So I'm gonna leave it here for a few minutes to let it dry. So you guys need to see alcohol dry. All right, got a little impatient, so I actually found I just grabbed a t-shirt, a clean old t-shirt. I used that to wipe this. Put the alcohol on the t-shirt and then wipe it. So now it looks like it's clean. There's no lint on it. Hopefully there's no alcohol left inside here. So we can put this back in. So here's the piece that goes behind it. So it actually goes. So this is this side is facing the bulb. So this is the back of the bulb. So basically it's like something like that. All right, something like that. I can feel it locking in somewhere. For these two tabs, it seems like it feels like it's locking in. It's kind of hard to tell. So let's see if I can get that in there. Not touching anything. Okay, I think I got it in. Kind of don't like using that plastic, man. I'm right-handed. I'm trying to use my left hand here. It's kind of awkward. Kind of don't like using the I don't like using the this is kind of interesting. The reflector inside actually swivels, so I think that's how you adjust the because there's a screw up on the towards the top that you could adjust the level, you know, pointing up and down. You can't adjust side to side on this, but you can adjust up and down. And I'm not sure what's holding it in place. Nothing in here that holds that stuff in place. I think once you put the rubber in here, it put this rubber back. Jesus, I have alcohol in here. Does it have alcohol? Yep, that's alcohol. It's my t-shirt. Smell the alcohol in here. I'll put that down. How do I get alcohol down in this thing? Alcohol. And alcohol seems like it takes a while to dry. Maybe because it's just kind of colder now. It's getting, you know, the sun just set already, so it's kind of cold. Okay, so now you just need to basically push this in. I'm not sure if there's a top or bottom. I see these two tabs. The two tabs are I believe on the sides. So let's see, we push this in. Okay, in there, a little bit off. Two tabs a little bit off. I want to make sure the rubber on the inner rubber, the inner hole, is wrapping around the bulb properly, so that way it could it seals, so that way it doesn't let in water. Right? All right, so where's my plug? There it is. So that's the plug. Plug still has all that dielectric grease, which is good. I can't see anything in there. It's so tight. There it goes. That's it. Still see the reflector moving. I don't know what's up with that. Something's not right. I wonder if I popped something loose when I took it off. Let's see if it works first. Okay, so let's turn it on. So there's the low beam. All right. Walk behind the bike. Can't see anything on the front. So that's the low beam. High beam. Low, high. Yep, works. So you know, being lower wattage, it won't be as bright, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. Shouldn't be any different than my scooter, because this is where this is where I got my this is where I got my this bulb before, or where I've had using this bulb before, this HS1 bulb from scooters that I had in the past. So I believe that's it. So this thing still kind of wiggles, so I'm not sure about that. I didn't check when I took it off. I didn't realize that the reflector could pivot. So maybe it popped off or something. Pushing and pushing, I don't feel nothing. So anyways, I'm gonna call it good for now. That's it. All right, thanks for watching.